Day 40, I'm reading Reader Come Home by Marianne Wolf, page 153. Where do we start? For these children, the first 5 years before they go to any school have no resemblance to the ideal life I described in the last letter. I am weary of citing the old and new studies that document 3 million plus instances of words that children in underprivileged families do not hear in their environments, and the numbers of books and letters they fail to see, much less hear read to them, before they are 4 and 5 years old. Money literally talks in the early language and cognitive development of our children, and demonstrated in the extensive analysis by the University of Chicago economist James Heckman and his colleagues. Simply put, the amount of money we invest in the first years of a child's life produces greater returns for each dollar spent than any other time in the lifespan. The implications of all the various types of research on the developing child could not be better understood. Society needs to invest in more comprehensive early childhood programs with more highly trained professionals before the first large gaps in language and learning become permanently cemented in the lives of millions of children. A caveat. Nonix Lesaux, a language scholar at the Harvard Graduate School of Education, rejects the term gap because it suggests that all we have to do is fill it and our work will be done. She is correct. Most children who are underserved in the first 5 years of life underperform in the next 5 and the next, and they continue to be underserved for the rest of their years. Unless we change the whole equation, we need to reconceptualize the time from 0 to 5 years, the first 2,000 days of life, when the component parts of the reading circuit are laid down as discussed. We need to rethink the time from kindergarten to 5th grade, the second 2,000 days. This period, the focus of this letter, is when children learn to read and think in ways that lay the foundation for the rest of their lives. During this time, the baton passes formally to the schools, where 3 investments are needed to ensure that all our children reach their potential as contributing members of our society. Comprehensive ongoing assessment from the outset, excellent, well-informed teaching methods, and coordinated emphasis by all teachers on developing reading and language skill across the grades. Each requires different forms of investment. Investment in early ongoing assessment of students. When children step through the kindergarten door, they come in all sizes, abilities, languages, dialects, and cultures. The school's first job is to figure out who is ready to learn, who is not, and what to do about it. From the very first day of the school, the schools must be able to assess what is needed for those children who did not receive a quality preschool experience and may well be behind in language development and other precursors of reading. From the second day, teachers need to know whether children who have had a high quality preschool experience have different strengths and weaknesses that will require specific emphasis before they are more formally taught to read. Everyone involved in what happens next needs to be aware of some important new research as well as some well-established older research, neither of which is sufficiently known or implemented in many schools. An exciting new study could change business as usual in the first 2 days of school. My present and former PhD student Ola Ozernov Pelchik and Elizabeth Norton, along with John Gabrielli and his colleagues at the McGovern Institute for Brain Research at MIT, and Dean Gap at Boston Children's Hospital, just finished one of the largest reading prediction studies ever conducted. These are the kind of studies that help us predict who will go on to do well in important subjects such as reading and math, and why, who will need to be carefully followed. Our group studied well over 1,000 kindergarten children from every economic circumstance and from all over New England. Each child was tested on a large battery of educational measures. The result highlighted two facts, one unsurprising and one potentially transformative. First, American children bring with them profound cognitive and linguistic differences the first day of formal schooling. Not a surprise. Second, these differences fall into fairly discrete groupings that predict how the children will achieve in reading later in school. This could change the trajectories of many children. Okay, I think I should stop here. I think this is very important part, so I should read the last the paragraph I just read again tomorrow. Okay, thanks so much. This was Minky. Please correct me if you can.